Hello and welcome to your daily spine mobility flow. This routine is going to be great for ongoing maintenance of your spine. So if you have any back tightness, upper back stiffness, this is great to do on a daily basis. All you will need is a long strap or band. If you have yoga blocks, those will also be helpful. If you don't, maybe just grab some pillows, a chair, or a stool. And if you don't have a band, we can just use our hands. But the first thing we are going to do is breath work. So with your resistance band, you are going to wrap the band around your rib cage like so. Just make an X in front of you and you will be here. I don't want you to bear down and tighten the band, restricting rib cage movement. It is literally there just to rest on your rib cage for feedback, to feel movement happening there. If you don't have a band, just take your hands like a crab claw and wrap them around your rib cage. Anytime I'm coaching breathing, this is not an exercise that you visually need to follow along for. You just need to listen to my cues. So if you see me not doing the breathing, it is because I'm focusing on helping you understand how to do it in the cues. But anyway, set up, hands or band is on your rib cage. You're just going to close your eyes just to feel connection to your breath. We're going to take an inhale in through the nose, filling the rib cage with air. Try not to let the breath just dump all into your belly when you inhale. Try to use your diaphragm, which is in your rib cage, to allow expansion as you breathe in through your nose. And then you're going to take an exhale twice as long, like 6 to 8 seconds long. So here we go, inhaling in through the nose. Long exhale out. Again, slow, silent inhale through the nose. Long exhale out. Keep going with this pattern. I say slow and silent for your inhale because a lot of people are in a habit of breathing with their neck and shoulders. So when they inhale, and it just pulls the rib cage and just stiffens and tightens everything up here. So don't be in a rush to fully expand or pull air into your ribs. I promise it's going in there. You will slowly feel this band start to tighten on your rib cage. If you are, in fact, able to expand your ribs with breath, on that exhalation, your rib cage will retract, 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 retract. If you are able to take a exhalation fully, very well, you will feel your obliques, your core, and your abs tighten naturally. It's not something that you will have to muscularly force. It will happen on its own because you know how to exhale fully and properly. I'm just going to keep talking to you. Hopefully, you're continuing your breathing exercises. Remember, you don't have to stop and wait for me to tell you to breathe. So, we're going to do 2 more breaths here. I'm just going to cue you through it again. Remember, slow, silent inhale in through the nose, not with your neck, not with your shoulders, but pull air into your ribs, not dumping everything into your belly. Exhale fully. Last one, when you inhale, see if you can feel front rib cage, side rib cage, and back ribs expand with the band or hands on your rib cage. Exhale. So breathing essentially works as a stretch from the inside out. The better you are able to mobilize your rib cage, the better your upper back will feel, and you'll have proper breathing mechanics. We're going to move on to neck cars. I know I've been sitting in this collapsed seated position. If you can't sit like this, just sit on your bottom or even sit on top of blocks or a chair. Maybe you're in your office desk. I don't know. But find a cozy position that you can comfortably be in. We're going to do neck cars. So just keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. We'll do 2 reps to the right and then 2 reps to the left. You're going to bring your chin into your throat and then start to flex your cervical spine. We're rotating to the right. Remember, trace your collarbone over to the right. Don't just roll your head. I want to see rotation, or hope that you are rotating. Side bend. So pouring the ear behind your shoulder. Imagine you have water in your ear and you just want to pour it out. You'll rotate into extension so that stretch will carry to the front of the neck. You will rotate the opposite direction. Chin pulling towards the armpit. Trace your collarbone. We have 1 more to the right. Remember, rotate. Try not to roll. Side bend. Extend, stretching the front of the neck. Rotating to the opposite direction. Chin to armpit. And then we'll reverse. Same thing to the left. Rotate. Side bend. Extension. Rotating in extension. Chin to armpit. Last one, going through center. Check and make sure you're not shoulder shrugging. You're really chasing all of the sensations, getting all of the corners. Awesome. All right, we are going to move on to pelvis stuff. So with your band, if you don't have a band, that is okay. You don't necessarily need to have it. This is just a feedback tool, but you can do everything without the band. You're going to take your band onto your knees, and we are going to use our yoga blocks to essentially block our upper spine from lower, because we are going to focus on the lumbar spine and pelvis movement. This is not a full spine cat-cow. I'm going to take my block setup and put it kind of right underneath my chest where my ribs are. And then I'll come down into this collapsed tabletop position where I will start to move my pelvis. So if you bring attention to my pelvis will go into an anterior tilt, and then it will reverse, posterior tilt. Really trying to stretch and round this segment of the spine. And reverse of that, anterior tilt, I'm thinking of squeezing my low spine muscles, not just moving into it, but squeezing into it. Reverse, low core is now squeezing. This is stretching. We have 3 more reps. Tilting forward, squeezing low back, tucking, scooping, squeezing the low core. The band is for feedback, so when you go into anterior tilt, the band will essentially pull you more into that tilt. When you go the opposite way, posterior tilt, you will feel it tighten on your low back. Last one here. Make sure also that your upper back is not moving with your low spine, since we are isolating lower from upper. Awesome. Feel free to pause the video if you need additional reps, because do what you need to for your body, okay? We are going to move on to a full spine segmentation. So you'll move the blocks out of the way. You will come to a tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to start with the pelvis going into that anterior tilt. This is a demonstration to see how well you can independently move each vertebrae of the spine. And here I'm thinking, squeeze my back tissue stuff, my spine extensors, to pull me into extension. I'm then going to reverse from the top down. I'm going to pull my chin towards my throat. I will start to put my upper back on stretch, my mid, my lower, and pelvis will follow last. 2 more here. Anterior tilt,
You do not have to go at my tempo, but if this is your first time doing segmentation work, good rule of thumb is to go 1 mile per hour because we don't want this to turn into a cat cow. I want you to focus on controlling and feeling independent movement of your joints, especially the areas where you don't feel very well. Take your time there. Don't rush and bypass through it because there's no use in you ignoring it. Might as well train it. When you've reached full extension, check in, make sure your elbows aren't bending, your shoulder blades aren't shrugged into your spine, and you look like this. Press the floor away. Stretch your stomach. Here we go. Last reverse. Stretch your spine going into flexion. Can you actually feel stretch in your back? Awesome. Now moving on to a spine car. The spine car moves the spine in its full capacity. I'm going to do 2 reps to the right, 2 reps to the left, and you will follow along. I'm going to demonstrate this in a seated position. I was going to kneel, but I don't feel like it today. If you are in seated, you can sit on blocks. You can also be sitting in a chair. You can also stand up. I recommend, though, if this is your first spine car, just try it seated. Your arms will cross over your body like so. I have my mic here. I might have to move it. Sorry if I blow the mic out. But arms will cross over your body, or you can give yourself a bear hug. Either one is fine. You are going to find upper spine flexion first. So you'll bring chin to chest. You're going to round your upper back, finding that upper back flexion. You're going to rotate to the right. Do not allow your pelvis to move on your blocks or seat. Side bend, shoulder pulls to top of the hip. Rotate and extension. Can you get your chest up towards the ceiling? Rotate to the left. Side bend to the left. Flex forward. One more to the right. Rotate. Side bend. Think of closing the space between the top hip and bottom rib. Rotate and extension. Chest up. Side bend. Stretch one side, squeeze the opposite. Flex forward. I'm going to just change my view angle so you can see a side view of what my pelvis is not doing, and it's not moving. So you have to make sure you can stabilize this segment so that we can move everything above that segment independently, which is your upper back. Find your arm base position, retract the neck, find that flexion. I'm thinking of sending my sternum towards my spine. Rotate to the left, side bend, extension, chest up, rotate, side bend, round forward. One more. Use your breath. Don't hold your breath while doing a spine car. All right. So you can do 2 to 3 reps to the right, 2, 3 reps to the left. But like I said, do as many as you need to do. You can't do too many spine cars in a day, or any cars for that matter. So pause the video if you need to do more reps. We're going to finish with a hip car. And we will be in a side lying position here. If you would like a block for a pillow, you can use a block for a pillow. You're going to lay on your side. Arms will be holding together, and your top leg will be the moving one. You'll put your foot on the ground. You'll start to externally rotate this hip /flex. Bring the thigh up. We're going to open it out. This is hip abduction. From here, this thigh bone is going to rotate in without excessive arching of the low back. How well can you keep your upper abs and low abs closed and minimize tilting in pelvis and lumbar extension? Get it behind you and then reverse. You should feel hamstring and glute back there. This thigh bone is going to rotate forward. And then you have one more rep. This is number 2. Abducting. Keep it solid. Keep it strong. Internal rotation into hip extension. Reverse. Kick it back. You should feel hamstring, glute. Oh, there goes my yoga block. Rotate it forward. And then we'll do the other side. All right. Laying on your side. Arms can squeeze, or you can brace the ground. Find a way to create tension so you're solid up here. Here we go. Sweeping the floor, externally rotating, flexing the hip. When you're doing this, don't round your back like cat. Keep your spine neutral because remember, this is a hip exercise. Open it up. Rotate it in. Get it behind you, hip extension. Pull it forward, reverse. Rotate, rotate, rotate. And then we have one more. Open. Internal rotation into extension. Pull it forward. Bring it back. Hip extension. Keep your core still. Do not arch the back to find hip extension. Externally rotate. Rotate it forward. Nice. Typically, I would have done at least 3 reps, so one side and 3 on the other, but just for video recording purposes, I wanted to keep it shorter. But as I say, always pause the video, and if you want to do more reps, do them. This is your spine reboot class, so feel free to do this as much as you need. Highly recommend doing it as much as possible. It is going to help you feel better in your spine.